as kindergartners, it is so exciting to finally be in school with the big kids. And as kindergarten teachers, we couldn't agree more. We share in all of the fun that your kindergartners have when they come into our classrooms and our spaces together. And as kindergarten teachers, we really consider it such an honor to play an important role in this beginning of your child's educational journey. We believe as kindergarten teachers in Bloomington Online School that it is our job to challenge, inspire, and support your child, meet them wherever they come in, and push them to grow from that point, while encouraging things like curiosity, industriousness, eagerness, and their imagination. We also believe that it is incredibly important that we share a strong school-family relationship. And so as we get to know your kindergartners, we have a bonus of getting to know all of you as their families as well.
Well, welcome everybody. My name is Holly Skatsum. I am the program coordinator for Bloomington Online School Elementary. Pictured here, but not with us tonight. He's got a son, I believe, playing some sort of sport, is Mr. Andrew Wilkins, who is the principal of Bloomington Online School. So the two of us partner together to bring this program to Bloomington. We've been building Bloomington Online School since last March, and the three wonderful teachers here today that you're going to meet and are going to tell you all about our program have built an extremely high quality, incredible program, and we are so excited to tell you more about it tonight. So welcome, and we are excited to get to know some of you and share about our program.
So as Holly mentioned, we are the kindergarten team. I am Kristen Fett. I have been in the district for 18 years, all in the traditional classroom setting role of kindergarten and first grade teacher. This is my first year fully teaching online school, just like many of us in this profession. But I have had such a joyful experience this past year. And I think one of my favorite parts is just been able to get to know the kids in their authentic home environments, which is something we don't often get to see when we are in the traditional brick and mortar setting.
Hello, everyone. Welcome tonight. I am Rachel Mersch, and I have been teaching in Bloomington Public Schools for 9 years. I'll echo what Kristen said, that all 9 years up until this year have been in the traditional school, so kind of our first adventure into online learning. And I would say one of my favorite parts of teaching in the Bloomington Online School has been seeing students still be able to develop that class community, those friendships, and have that fun, even in the online setting. So that's been really exciting.
And I am Allie Kalkman. This is my 5th year in the district, and it has been really fun starting to build this school. I've been part of the team since last May, so watching it come to life has been really exciting. And I think my favorite part of teaching online is just the ability to meld home and school. Learning is happening everywhere for students, which is really fun for them to make those real-world connections all day, every day.
So here in Bloomington, we have a few options for families as they're coming into the school system. Tonight, we're really here to dive into Bloomington Online School and tell you more about this new program and new option for Bloomington families. Here in Bloomington, so why choose our district? We really believe that our students thrive in Bloomington. We have a pride in diversity. We are a technology-enhanced district. We have unique academic opportunities, Bloomington Online School being one of those. And we have a strong relationship with our community and our parents here in Bloomington.
Ready for kindergarten. That's why we're here tonight, because we are so excited to welcome your children into our classrooms this fall for a year of learning, curiosity, community, fun. And we understand, especially as kindergarten teachers, that students come to us with different social, emotional, academic experiences and abilities. So we want to help all kindergartners have a successful transition to their kindergarten year. So in order to make this transition as smooth as possible, we've outlined some skills that you could be working on for the next few months so your kindergartner is ready for school, no matter what setting you end up choosing for them. This might look like understanding their letters, sounds, and numbers, counting, colors, shapes, writing letters and numbers, writing their name, reading every day or night with your child for at least 15 minutes, and then other skills like zipping, tying, scissors, bathroom, and then of course encouraging and ramping them up for a positive attitude and excitement about school in general and kindergarten.
Kindergarten is a time of incredible growth. We know that kindergarten is meant to build all of the foundational blocks for your child's school experience. So in literacy, we are really laying those foundational bricks by learning letter names and sounds. We start to put those sounds together to make words. We learn sight words, and then it is mostly a child's first time at being an author. They get to write and illustrate and show their creativity on a daily basis. In math, we are building the foundational skills in numbers. So being able to read, write those numbers, and show those numbers. We do a lot of counting and have a big emphasis on patterns and shapes. And then finally, in social studies and science, we want children to learn about their community in social studies. We want them to understand the world around them, how rules are made, how families are similar to theirs and different from theirs. And then in science, we look at a lot of things that overlap with math. We look at sorting, we look at weather, and then animals, living and non-living things.
Also in kindergarten, we work so much on those social skills. You might remember the phrase, "all I really need to know I learned in kindergarten." It's true. Things like using time effectively, being able to follow directions, working cooperatively together, being independent, all of those skills we begin working on, naming and teaching while we are actively reinforcing, and the kids are practicing those with us in kindergarten.
So why choose Bloomington Online School specifically? There's a few things that make us unique, and we're going to dive into these a little bit later in the presentation as well. But just a quick overview, we have strong Bloomington teachers. So our online program is built of teachers from across the district. You heard some of them tonight have been in the district for many years. They're talented and they're trained to be awesome teachers. We have a focus on equity in Bloomington Online School. We also, coming next year, will have a computer science focus, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. We do an interdisciplinary curriculum in Bloomington Online School, which allows our kids to really intertwine the different subject areas and learn those subject areas through some higher level concepts. And then lastly, the flexibility our program offers. So families really get to have that flexible variable of place, whether you're kind of learning at grandma and grandpa's house, maybe you're learning at your house, maybe you're taking a vacation during the winter time because it's freezing cold in Minnesota and you're learning from your vacation spot in Florida. There's really that flexibility that we have in this program with our families, and it makes us unique. One thing we just want to assure you of is that Bloomington Online School has all the same services as our brick and mortar schools. So we have special education services, English language services, we have social workers, and we also have intervention staff as well that provide some math and reading interventions for our students.
As kindergarten teachers, we could all list a multitude of reasons why we love teaching, and especially why we love teaching kindergarten. But ultimately, we thought it would be the best peek into the kindergarten experience of what a virtual kindergarten year would look like, would be straight from the kinders themselves. So let's let them tell us what they think is the best part of kindergarten.
Of the alphabet and learning to read. Learn a whole bunch of sight words, and it helped me learn to read my books. Reading a book is reading Junie B. Jones. It's quiet time. because it's the only part where I get to read the series Notebook of Doom. This is the book I am on right now. I'm learning how to read. We get to do morning messages. The books that Miss Kalkman reads, and I like learning about math.
Writing in our packet and doing freeze dance in our scavenger hunt. That's my favorite thing.
Math, and we do the writing in the morning and at 9 o'clock. Drawing in my purple packet and coloring. Have a great day, Mrs. Learning. And I love kindergarten. I love kindergarten so much that we can do like the pages of the packet. That we get to be together. I can see my friends, and I can bring a learning buddy. The best thing about kindergarten is my school and freeze dance.
Everything!
It's math and everything. I like reading, recording, and doing silence and writing and drawing and quiet time and a lot of things about kindergarten. I love kindergarten.
So we hope you enjoyed that little peek into what our students are loving about school this year. We know that they come to school excited, they have fun during the day, and we hear that they are chatting about it nonstop at night too. So we're really glad to have been able to bring that experience to students. We are going to go through what a typical kindergarten day looks like now. So we start every day with a morning meeting. It's time for us to build community. From there, we go into whole group learning, typically on a phonics skill, and then students are able to work independently while teachers are seeing small groups. So they are practicing sight words and sounds and letters and reading books during that time. We make sure that all students receive a little play break in the morning. We are big proponents of play in the classroom and have been fortunate enough to bring that into our online school. So there is that play time and unstructured time for students. And then they come back and we read stories, we talk about those stories, and then they get to try their hand at writing. We have an hour for a lunch and a play break, similar to like a lunch and a recess in a brick and mortar building. And then students go to see their specialist teachers. This year we have 3 specialist teachers that teach Phi Ed, art, and music. After that, we take quiet time as part of our responsive classroom curriculum, where we have students just calm their bodies before we learn about calendar and math. And then students have more explore time that is math-based in the afternoon. And finally, we meet again as a whole class to talk about our day, share with each other, and say goodbye for the day.
We know that learning is at its best for kindergarten when it is both structured and also exploratory. And so we do this through a combination of synchronous and asynchronous teaching and learning activities. Our live synchronous lessons happen in real time when the kids are with us. During that time, we use a mix of whole group and small group work, independent and partner work. We do things like discussions, community and relationship building. We share, we socialize, we play games, we have fun. Oh, did I mention learning? We do that too. We also use breakout rooms a lot, which you'll see here in just a moment when we get to the video. But I also want to touch on a little bit about what asynchronous work looks like. So that, of course, is done away from us without real-time interaction. Usually it's done through a digital app called Seesaw. In that, we're giving students guided choices that allow them to reinforce the skills that we have worked on and have taught them during our synchronous times together. It also, though, consists of work that they are doing off of the screen. And so things like cutting, putting things together, creating, building are all of those things. And they might come back then and take a picture of something they created, or they might use the microphone and they might describe what they used or their thought process as to how they came up with a certain solution to a particular problem. Giving the kids that asynchronous time really helps build their independence, gives them the opportunity to reflect on the work that they've done and the work that they've created. And it also gives them that chance to be responsible and accountable for their work and then practice their decision making. So take just a quick peek at this video that shows Mrs. Mersch showing a breakout room doing partner work in one of her synchronous teaching sessions.
Of the sun.
So
So I thought the sun and circle, but we erased that because that was an AB pattern. Yeah, we erased that.
sounds like you all worked together to come up with an ABC pattern. And that means you finished the whole top of the paper already?
Yeah.
Whoa. And what?
The moon one, the circle one, and the moon one.
And what did you say was missing in that pattern?
The moon. What? Moon?
So next you have to think of something that's an ABC pattern. Does anyone have any ideas?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, Bennett, what do you think?
I'm primary color pattern. Okay.
Oh, what's Katie's idea? Let's see if you can get the ideas to work together.
MKB.
You could write those letters with primary colors. You could put both ideas together. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to go check on another group. But that sounds super awesome.
That was my idea, Katie. Now, Ms. Yep. We're looking really good.
And what pattern are you on?
The second to last.
Oh, did you figure out which thing was missing?
We're just about to do that.
Oh, can I listen to you guys talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, right in that missing spot, it goes, I think it's moon, because it's moon, moon, circle, moon, moon, circle. So, we're going to draw a moon right there. Could I see yours, Nora? Yes. Really good moons.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys love matching papers. That's telling me you used really great teamwork. Thanks for showing me. All right, so of course, in order to facilitate all these different modes of learning that Mrs. Fett mentioned, hands-on learning, active learning, synchronous learning, asynchronous learning, your child's gonna need a lot of learning materials at home. So as kindergarten teachers, we work really hard to create and curate a variety of supplies that our kindergartners will use every single day. So that includes a BOS bin that is filled with small hands-on manipulatives, a BOS binder that has reusable game boards, math mats, reference sheets that are put in page protectors, special keepsakes that you can have as families to keep for a memory of their kindergarten year, and then daily and or weekly packets that keep pace with our learning throughout the entire year. All of these materials are purposely selected, prepared, organized by us each month, and then sent home to all kindergarten families through monthly pickup. So that basically ensures that kindergartners have what they need to actively participate with materials while we're doing our synchronous and asynchronous lessons through the entire year. So a little bit more of a look at hands-on learning. We know as kindergarten teachers that hands-on learning is a cornerstone of kindergarten. And when we took on this adventure to kind of transform the kindergarten experience in a virtual setting, it was of utmost importance to us that all of our BOS kindergartners had the same access to the manipulatives and hands-on materials that they would have in the traditional classroom. So some examples of things that we've provided to every BOS kindergartner include whiteboards, a magnetic letter tray, Play-Doh, small manipulatives like counters, beads, pom-poms, popsicle sticks, other materials like playing cards, letter and number dice, wiki sticks, Play-Doh. And all of these materials are used for hands-on learning across the content areas. So from letter recognition, sound practice, word building, to counting, patterning, and even modeling a three-dimensional shape. So basically ensuring that kindergartners have access to all the same materials for their hands-on learning allows us then to plan comprehensive learning activities where students are able to actively participate in all aspects of their learning and aren't just sitting there watching the teacher teach a lesson.
As Mrs. Mersch so wonderfully encapsulated in all of the things that she had to say, we believe so strongly in active learning. We are kindergarten teachers after all. We are not known to sit still for very long because we believe it is so important to constantly be up, moving, singing, dancing, getting our bodies involved in our learning, because as teachers, we know that brain research shows that is how children best remember, is through a lot of those things. And so many of the things that we were doing in a traditional brick and mortar setting, we have brought into this online virtual experience. Things like the traditional calendar, where we're looking at the months of the year and we're singing and looking at days of the week, how we break down words with letters and sounds, doing things like brain breaks and fun games during morning meetings and throughout the day. And also, as teachers, we are experts at noticing and knowing when children need to move their body. We can see a wiggle start before it's even in that child's body. We can see them thinking about the need to move their body. And so we are constantly monitoring and making sure that not only are we embedding movement into our lessons each day, but we are also then doing them as the need arises. And here's a little clip of some different examples of what active learning looks like in all three of our classrooms. Good morning, Dash.
Good morning, Mrs. Pratt. Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Dad. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Charlie.
Back. Today we're gonna do the silly faces greeting. You ready for this? Good morning, Hazel.
Good morning, Mrs. Pratt.
Good morning, Vivian.
Good morning, Mrs. Pratt.
Tallies, we're gonna start 1, 2, 3, 4, slash it across 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Go.
11.
Kindergartners, our first word is this. One more time. Here we go. T-H-I-S this. T-H-I-S this. Point to yourself. T-H-I-S this. This, this, this.
Run, high knees, one-legged hop all the way till 87. We're so close to the 100th day. I want to see how strong you are. And here we go. Jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ready? I'm a Wuxia warrior. Count with me. 3, 2, 1, Wuxia. If you threw a fireball, you match me. Sit down. 3, 2, 1, Wuxia.
So something that is very unique to BOS is our interdisciplinary curriculum that was mentioned earlier. Our curriculum was built over the summer by groups of Bloomington teachers from across all buildings. And we have 4 themes that we move throughout the year that are the same K-5. So those white headers that you see, systems and structures, interactions and interdependence, power and influence, and changing continuity, are things that kids are learning about kindergarten all the way through 5th grade. And then as teachers, we were able to break those down into what does that mean at this grade level. Thematic learning is something that is seen in kindergarten classrooms across the district. And so we wanted to be able to keep those themes while embedding them within our current structure. So when we learned about systems and structures in the fall, we were learning about what is school, who am I, what is my family like, how do I make friends, and where do I go in my community. Then when we moved into interactions and interdependence, we are learning things like our family and culture, what a need and a want is, working on those social studies skills, and really focusing on emotions and how we feel, and giving students a chance to have more language to express that. We are currently this year in our Power and Influence unit. We are talking about world changers, people that have had a big influence on the world, and then allowing kids to see themselves as those world changers too. We will also be learning about things like American symbols. We will have a full week of STEM challenges, and we have been digging into an author study this week. And then our last unit of the year is focused on changing continuity, where we learn a lot about animals. We learn about health and health habits. We celebrate what we have learned this year, and then we look into spring and summer fun. So next I have a video for you. We asked a couple of parents from our grade level to just speak to some concerns that they might have had going into Bloomington Online School or even this school year. And we asked them to just reflect on what their concern was and how they feel about that at this time in the year. So this is our first peek into that around curriculum.
One question my wife and I had when we signed up for Bloomington Online School kindergarten was how much the material would challenge our daughter, who was coming in after a pretty solid preschool, and she's just a kid who loves to learn. Our teacher, Ms. Kalkman, was able to find the right level for her in a number of ways. So there are regular small group lessons where she's paired with similar level students. There's an optional enrichment activity every week, which just gives her a different set of challenges in multiple areas. And there are even some extra materials that our teacher gives us in our monthly pickups for some hands-on activities as well. It's worked out really well for our daughter.
Well, as an online school, of course, technology and apps are going to be things that all students will have access through throughout the year. So in Bloomington Online School, kindergarten students in particular all have their district device is an Acer tablet. So one feature of this tablet that is a highlight for students, for parents, and teachers alike is that stylus. So that stylus, that little pen, allows them to still practice that pencil grip, even if they're interacting with any sort of digital type of assignment, and helps those fine motor skills develop even when they're not doing a paper pencil task, which we do a lot of still in kindergarten. That symbol in the middle is Google Meet. So that is the platform that we use for our synchronous learning. So all those clips that you saw of the breakout rooms, the whole group learning, all takes place through that video conferencing of Google Meet, whether it's for our whole group lessons, a small group lesson, or even in the breakout rooms where kids are live as a whole class, but get to kind of break off into little small groups for partner work, collaboration, like you saw with the patterning. Maybe even it's just some quiet alone writing time where they're still, have access to the teacher, but they just want some quiet time or some social time. We've also done play groups where kids can get together with small groups of friends in those breakout rooms and just get to know each other. And then that final icon is Seesaw, which is the app from which we launch and house all of our students learning their asynchronous tasks. So Seesaw provides that platform for both the digital and non-digital tasks. So even if they're doing a hands-on or a paper pencil task, they can use Seesaw to then take a photo of their work so they can still submit it to the teacher for feedback. So the great thing about Seesaw is that it allows for teachers to provide either a verbal, a voice comment, or written feedback, and there's even sort of their own version of a secure blog inside of Seesaw where they can share things and build that class community when it's not an asynchronous time.
Balancing technology is something that is very important to us as teachers. We know that there are a lot of concerns around switching to a fully digital platform. And so as teachers and some of my teammates as parents have really been racking our brains on how do we do this while still being developmentally appropriate for students. So first and foremost, we are just aware of screen time. As we build our schedule, we are aware of how much time they are live, how much time they are in their asynchronous work, and the balance of even if they are live, are they doing something where they're not looking at a screen? And into that is the active and hands-on learning. We have every lesson has an active and a hands-on component, at least one of each, if not more, to make sure that students are not only engaged in different things, but that they aren't just looking at a screen all day. And then the last thing we want to note is the difference between active and passive screen time. So some screen time is more helpful for students. Getting that live teacher instruction is a very different thing than watching a TV show. And so we know that not all screen time is built equally, and the instruction time that they're getting is just a totally different type of screen time than maybe their play screen time that they have in the evening.
Yeah, so like Ms. Kalkman was saying, we are fully aware of what that screen time looks like. I shared that same concern, not only as a teacher coming into this new role from a traditional classroom setting, but also as the mom of 2 kids who are also enrolled in Bloomington Online School. And so we thought it would be important for you to be able to take a listen as another kindergarten parent addresses this, who also shared the same concerns going into this.
Hi there, my name is Eric, and I have a kindergartner in Bloomington Online School. And what I wanted to do is just mention a few thoughts about technology, especially concerning screen time that we've had kind of throughout the beginning of our school year, and now that we're about 100 days in, kind of how our feelings are about that. Now, the one thing I will say about technology is that as far as support goes, ease of use and reliability, we have had absolutely no problems. A couple of glitches now and then, but the solutions have been really easy and quick to follow. We definitely had some concerns about screen time. I mean, the idea of being on an online school and having your child in front of a screen is definitely something that we weren't thrilled about. What we found, though, is that the Bloomington Online School teachers do an amazing job of breaking up the day so that it's not just a student interacting 100% with the screen all the time. There are tons of different activities that they're using, paper and pencil, lots of cutting, crafting, manipulatives, including Play-Doh and swizzle sticks. And the teachers have gotten really creative with sending home kits and additional items to keep the kids enthused and to keep them both on and away from their technology. The other thing that we've noticed, in addition to taking lots of breaks and getting them to move their body throughout the day, is that the screen actually ends up being a way that our student is more engaged with their teacher. It almost feels like the teacher is one-on-one many times with the student, where there's less distractions. Our student isn't getting kind of carried away and getting distracted about what's in the classroom or those other students around them. He's really laser focused on his teacher whenever she's instructing the class. So I think it's another benefit that we've actually really enjoyed having as part of Bloomington's online school.
So one of those things I mentioned earlier that makes our program really unique and actually makes our district unique is our focus on computer science. So we do have 2 brick and mortar immersion schools in Bloomington, and Bloomington Online School will now be the 3rd location in Bloomington where kids can get that computer science instruction. So our big belief in computer science, 3 main goals or objectives is to give kids skills, transferable skills like debugging, problem solving, breaking down patterns, deconstructing things, and reconstructing. The second big piece is equity. We know that in this field of study, this computer science education or this computer science field of job, that it's very underrepresented. So there's not a lot of women and there's not a lot of people of color. And so something in Bloomington we're really intent upon is making sure all of our kids have access to computer science education. And at Bloomington Online School, it's going to be even a bit more than that. And then the last objective is joy. We know that computer science provides kids an opportunity to solve problems and then share their personal passions and interests with the world by solving those problems that could impact the community and world around them. So what does this look like for Bloomington Online School students next year? So Bloomington Online School students will receive 1 hour of computer science instruction per week. So if you add that up over time, they're going to have a whole bunch of extra instruction where they're going to be learning skills that you see here on the screen. So computational thinking skills is what we're really focused on. Things like I just mentioned of breaking a problem down into tiny steps and then putting those pieces back together to solve a problem. So this is a really exciting thing that we are adding to our program and that we feel like makes us a really unique and great option for families who are interested in this piece as well. One thing that we just do like to mention, I called out Andrew Wilkins at the beginning. He is the principal of Washburn Elementary, but also Bloomington Online School. So we do partner with Washburn Elementary. That brick and mortar setting allows us to have just a location where families can come to pick things up. We do our material pickups there. We also share a lot of resources with Washburn. So we share, EL services or special education services or paraprofessionals, different things like that. We share across sites as well. We use Washburn's nurse as our Bloomington Online School nurse. So it's just nice to have that brick and mortar partner to kind of meet some objectives like having a physical location for families to come and go.
Community is another thing that is very important to us. We know that students want to have that community feel not only in their classroom, but across the school. So right away, we jumped in this year working on a mascot. We have our Shark Megabyte mascot, and we even have a physical version that sometimes appears in Google Meets. So we have our mascot and spiritware that we have this year. And with that, we have Spiritware Fridays as well. We have a family advisory that functions similar to a PTA that allows parents to give us feedback and lets parents help us with so many important things like our yearbook and spiritware and some of those other things that we just really rely on parents for. And then lastly, we have a school directory that parents can opt into at the beginning of the year so that they have contact information of other parents in their grade level or outside of school meetings. Some other school-wide events that we have done, we are having 3 Spirit Weeks this year. You can see a little picture here of Beach Day. We are launching our first I Love to Read month this week. Students are completing bingo boards of all sorts of reading challenges. We have a school news that is launching tomorrow that we are really excited about, just so that students can see what's going on in other classrooms. We know we aren't in the same building, but we want to create that community by bringing the camera into other parts of our building. We will be having our first BOS rally coming up soon, connected to I Love to Read month, and our group of teachers is working actively on how we can bring more of those into the next school year. And then finally, we have Megabyte Fridays. As you can see a little picture right here of some students that are donning their Megabyte gear for this past Friday. So we have a parent that would like to give you a little message on what community and friendship has been like for their family.
Hi, I'm Melissa. We've been really happy with my daughter's whole kindergarten experience in Bloomington Online School this year. She's received a high-quality education from amazing teachers, but one thing that really stands out is how the teachers have built in time to socialize through schoolwork and play. My daughter has been able to play and work with students in small groups and breakout rooms, participate in class parties, share about her weekend, and many other examples. The staff is intentional about offering these opportunities which build a positive classroom community. So much so that a few weeks ago when we were at a local skating rink as a family, my daughter and another student who before then had only met each other online recognized each other and began skating and playing together.
So, in thinking about all of these things and how they come together, we know that kindergartners need varying levels of support from adults, no matter what environment they are in. If they are with us in a traditional classroom setting or if they are in a virtual setting. We have structured our kindergarten program in such a way that they are going to need a bit more support from an adult at the beginning of the school year, with things like just making sure they're getting signed into their Google Meets on time, making sure all of the supplies that we have sent home are organized in their workspace. But we have also structured our teaching in our kindergarten program in such a way that those kids, those kindergartners are getting independent and responsible with so many things right away at the beginning of the year, that the amount of support they need from an adult gets significantly less as the year goes on. One of the things that we have heard feedback from several of the adults that support our kinders is that it's always fun when they need a partner to play a game with. As you can see in the picture, one of the things we asked on Seesaw was, who played the game with you and then who won. So it's fun for the kids to be able to show that, as you can see by that dad's face.
The kindergarten experience wouldn't really be complete without special projects and events to look forward to, and students in Bloomington Online School still get to participate in reimagined versions of those same special events that they might have in the classroom. So that might look like a class party complete with crafts and games. It might look like a virtual author visit. It might look like celebrating their learning with some culminating activities from those interdisciplinary units that we designed that Ms. Kalkman had talked about. And one beloved celebration in kindergarten especially is counting down to that 100th day. We count to that all year. And even in this setting, that can still be complete with 100th day crowns, sharing collections of 100 items, imagining what we might look like at 100 years old, etc.
If we didn't say so already, these slides will be uploaded to our website after our presentation. So as you're seeing this information we're sharing, please know that you will have access. So similarly, we're going to go through some directions here to get registered, but you likely won't remember all those steps from this presentation. So please know you will have access. The biggest things we just want to share is if your child's 5 before September 1st, they can enroll in kindergarten. It's really important to get your early childhood screening done if you haven't done that already, and then to complete your online registration by March 1st. Some other things the district would need is just copies of immunization records, your child's birth certificate, proof of residency, and then you will schedule with us a readiness assessment as well prior to school. If you head to the Bloomington website, and I think we even have a link here in the slides that you will have access to after, you can begin your enrollment process. Then you'll complete that early childhood screening and complete some other pieces of the application, submit your records, submit the birth certificate, and you're all set to go. So there's many, many people that can help you with this process. You can call Washburn Elementary, and our secretary, Susan Smith, can help. And then there's also many folks across the district that can help with this process if you need that support.
We would love for you to connect with us early and be able to see what we are doing this year. So we have 2 social media accounts, both a Facebook and an Instagram account, where you can see what is happening in BOS classrooms and with our BOS community. And then a lot more information can also be found on our BOS website. And as mentioned, we will have these slides where you can follow those direct links too.
If you do have follow-up questions, you can contact myself or Andrew Wilkins. If you go to the website, Bloomington Online School website, there's the contact information for both of us, and that's also where we will post these slides, so you can get access to those. And we'll post the recording of the presentation. So if you know there's people who couldn't make it, maybe some neighbors or friends, we will have the slides and the recording of the presentation available. Well, I just want to give a huge shout out to our kinder team. They are absolutely amazing and have put together a high quality online kindergarten program. I know this because this morning, just this morning, I got to meet with districts all around Minnesota that are working on online schools for next year. And I'm very, very proud of Bloomington. We are leaps and bounds ahead of others and have really put ourselves in a position where we've been doing this program all year long, so we've got it in place, and now we just get to make it better and better and better. And so we're really lucky to have these 3 amazing veteran Bloomington teachers in this program, and lucky to have their expertise in building such an amazing option for kindergarten families in Bloomington. So thank you to Mrs. Mersch, Ms. Kolkman, and Mrs. Fett for all of your dedication and work this year, and for what you've given the Bloomington community as this amazing kindergarten option that we're going to have this year and next year. And thank you for your time tonight as well. And families, thank you so much for your time coming, and please reach out if you have any further questions.